22. From Ashes to Awakening. Upon returning from the Netherlands, I plummeted into the darkest recesses of my soul. The familiar landscapes of my life dissolved, leaving only an abyss of uncertainty. Every foundation I'd built, every truth I'd held, crumbled beneath my feet. I was consumed by the haunting questions. What was the purpose of my existence? Was being an estate agent merely a facade, a distraction from my true calling? What was my soul's deepest longing? What ignited my passion? And the most piercing question of all, why was I still living a life that no longer aligned with my heart? These questions brought immense agony, and finding answers seemed impossible. I was lost, unsure of who I was or what I wanted from life. Depression's demons loomed, and my heart ached for my beloved Shortsy, whose absence cast a long shadow over my daily life. I also missed Esther Marie with a deep sadness, sensing she was navigating difficult times and feeling helpless to ease her pain. My thoughts were equally consumed by Gurik, whose struggles to find his footing in life felt like a constant gnawing worry. His resignation from the restaurant had left him uncertain and vulnerable. I shared his anxiety as he searched for stability. Amidst these concerns, I found solace in the hidden patterns that governed my life. I've always been drawn to dates and numbers, sensing the intricate web of synchronicity and guidance that underpinned my existence. I began to notice specific dates recurred in profound significance, weaving a tapestry of meaning. A pivotal moment in this journey unfolded on 18 August 1999. On that day, I received a channeled message instructing me to write my new sacred name, a gift from divinity. I closed my eyes, let my hand move freely across the page, and scribbled a word in my journal. At the time, I didn't understand the phenomena that had just occurred. I simply opened my eyes to find the word Alyushika staring back at me. Notably, this date held another layer of significance. It marked exactly 1 year since my first channeled message on 18 August 1998, received in the veld outside Oudtshoorn. The coincidence was uncanny, and the experience has stayed with me. Interestingly, this spontaneous, unguided writing, known as automatic handwriting, has never happened to me again, leaving the Alyushika moment a singular, unforgettable event. But as I reflected on these experiences, another question lingered. Who was this mysterious voice guiding me? Was this guidance a legacy from my birth family, an inherited trait from parents I had never known? Or was it a gift from beyond, a universal force that transcended bloodlines and adoption? I wondered if my adoptive path, with its unique twists and turns, had been preparation for this mystical journey. Had this voice chosen me precisely because I had no knowledge of my biological roots? Was I truly hearing the whispers of the divine, or just the echo of my own subconscious seeking connection to my unknown past? The intertwining of my adoption's mystery and my spirituality's strangeness left me both fascinated and unsettled. On 9 September 2016, a rare numerical convergence caught my attention. The 9th day of the 9th month and a 9 a.m. appointment, and the year culminating in a calculated digit total of 9, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6 equals 9. This extraordinary 9999 alignment, where the number 9 symbolizes endings and completions, transcended coincidence. It was a sacred invitation. Following divine inspiration, I booked an appointment with an intuitive energy healer at 9 a.m. that very morning, drawn to her work with ancient healing oils and quantum-imprinted sprays. During the session, a deep sense of peace enveloped me. I entered a meditative state, deeply connected to my inner self. As my focus turned inward, I tapped into my subconscious. Guided by her intuition, she placed small bottles of oil on my body and applied her energetically infused sprays with precision. Each bottle and spray held a unique number and energy signature. I experienced 12 vivid and profound visions. Afterward, comparing notes revealed a stunning synchronicity. The oils and sprays used on my body perfectly aligned with my visions. The synergy between the oils, sprays, and visions astounded me, unveiling a profound connection that transcended coincidence. As I returned home, another remarkable sign awaited. When I opened my car door, 2 fish eagles called out in the sky above me, circling over Oudtshoorn, a rare and awe-inspiring sight. Furthermore, as I've mentioned before, fish eagles hold a special significance for me. Whenever I see or hear them, I sense my dad's spirit is near, bringing a message or guidance. 5 days later, on 14 September, I retrieved the prenuptial marriage contract Henny and I had signed in 1994. As our wedding plans took shape, I made a personal vow to never divorce again, committed to making our union last. But Henny's response, though romantic on the surface, revealed a starkly different perspective. If we're only married for 6 months, that'll be enough for me, because they will be the 6 happiest months of my life. His words, meant to charm, unsettled me. They exposed a fleeting, superficial view of our commitment, a stark contrast to the lifelong bond I envisioned. In that moment, I had dismissed my unease, attributing it to love's idealism. Now I saw the prophetic weight of his statement. Our marriage's tumultuous journey, marked by moments of joy and prolonged suffering, was foreshadowed in those words. Henny's 6-month horizon highlighted the temporary, fragile nature of his investment. My heart, once full of hope, had been slowly drained by the reality of our relationship. An inner urgency drove me to perform a symbolic act, marking the end of this toxic cycle. With my patience and resilience depleted, I knew change was imperative. I took a decisive step, printed a copy of the contract, gathered my courage, and created a small symbolic fire in my backyard. As the flames danced, I gently placed the document among the flickering flames, watching as the pages curled and dissolved into ashes. As the last embers faded, I felt unshackled, released from the weight of our contractual bond. The sacredness of my personal ceremony washed over me, and I knew this physical act had symbolized a profound liberation. In that moment, I was reborn. Afterwards, I went to my office, opened my journal, and recounted the experience. The contract has burned to ashes. It is done, completed. I released Henny of his self-imposed and misguided task of directing me and the course of my life. I released him for controlling Esther Marie. I thanked him for the lessons, holding up the mirror for me to discover what I needed to within myself. He loved me to the best of his ability, that which he allowed himself to see and be. I forgave him, set him free, and rid myself of guilt, shame, anger, fear, hatred, and self-harm. I am now at peace and excited about new opportunities, although I don't know what shape or form they'll take. With an open heart and mind, I welcome the unknown, trusting that each step will reveal itself in time. I see clearly, hear sharply, speak purposefully, and act with determination. Here I am. Send me